And now, another reading from Char and Ash by me, Sapha Burnell. This is a work of Mythpunk literature, and this is chapter 22 in its entirety from Char and Ash. Available now in paperback and digital, hardcover yet to come. That's going to come when the entire saga is finished. Ares, son of Zeus. Ares carried his father back into the creaky acres from the SUV, through the main doors with its intercom, and past the reception desk. The middle of the night quieted the world, the receptionist gone for the day with nothing amiss. The nurse's station had low light, while most of the denizens of the place were long in bed or nestled in their rooms with radios or televisions of a much smaller variety than the one Ares reinvigorated every year. A constant reminder. Zeus mumbled in his arms, strained to keep his head off Ares' shoulder in a last lingering defiance. While the nurse at the nursing station rose, Ares shook his head. I've got him. A little too much excitement for an old man. Ares gave the nurse a smile and kept walking. If you need anything. He'll need a change later. Give me a minute to settle him in and I'll fetch you. Thanks, Melinda. You remembered. Melinda covered a yawn with a sip of coffee from the espresso machine donated by Athene. While his sister hated their bastard father, she refused to punish his carers with substandard coffee. Wouldn't do, and thus she worshipped their dedication with coffee roasts and cold brews. The stray frothed milk. How are your boys? Oh, Jason decided to join the army, like you suggested. Thanks for helping him get out of that tight spot. The army will make a good man of him. It was no trouble. I remember being a rebellious asshole in my day. We idiots have to look after each other as long as we look after our mums. If you need anything more, give the office a call. Ares nodded with another smile, perfect teeth in the dim light, and kicked at a door with a nameplate in the middle, Zeus Olympia. On the inside... Once inside, pardon me. Hey, Angel. I'm going to have to splice this. Brrr. Can you tell I need more practice? Once inside, he stepped on a ground trigger for the lamps, and the room painted a soft yellow glowed with golden light. Pictures of Greece, of the Roman Colosseum lined the walls. Zeus's bed, woefully narrow to Zeus's standards, held fresh silk sheets, 3 pillows set to prop him up, 1 for his knees. Ares laid him on his bed, propped the 2 pillows behind Zeus's back, and slipped the other under the knees to alleviate pressure from Zeus's hip. There you are, father. Why don't you kill me? Are you lacking in ambition? Zeus croaked, arms crossed over the stain on his yellow button-down. Ares passed by the pictures on the walls, sat in another Scotch-guarded armchair, big enough for his and Hef's frames, done in red velvet. The closest thing Zeus had left to a throne, aside from the porcelain one in the attached bath, and the ruined wheelchair Hef would no doubt replace in the morning. I keep thinking it wouldn't take much. A pillow to your face while you sleep, but... Ares leaned into the chair, felt the toll of the day as it tempered into his spirit. Then I think it's what you want. Zeus glanced with a scowl in storm-gray eyes, fiddled with the buttons of his button-down to reveal the crisp white tank underneath. All those centuries tearing me down. Apollo is the better son, Dionysus Hermes. I was your firstborn, the heir of Olympus outright. Athene was conceived sooner, and then you ate her mother while she was still in the womb. I was born first. I was your son. Not through wedlock, the child of the Queen of Heaven, and you hated every moment of my birth, the way I sought your eyes and challenged you. I know, Father, I know you spent every second of those centuries ensuring I would not usurp you, like you usurped Kronos, like Kronos usurped Uranus and Eurynome. You fought against me so hard the humans changed around you and you barely noticed. Nothing you did prepared you for the fact kings and princes might have been the only ones worthy of your deference, but kings and princes would die out. The common man you despised would become master of his own fate, the fate of his family. I bested you. Shaking his head, Ares rose from the chair and over to his father, yanked the shirt from the front of his trousers amidst Zeus's feeble attempt to push him away. Ares undid the buttons, a warrior's hands using the same gentility which came natural when holding his infant children to his chest. He undid Zeus's belt, pulled his socks off, took down Zeus's trousers and tossed the clothing in the laundry hamper, turned to the wardrobe lovingly made by Hephaestus and pulled out a pair of pajamas, silk like the sheets. So kill me and be done with it. Zeus sat on his narrow bed, draped only in his adult incontinence briefs, undershirt, and his shame. Take my crown. Put the consort's crown on your love, bitch. Break it in twain. Give half to that man of yours as a necklace. Trot me out and burn me before old Wander. Mother's a splendid queen. I would not take her rights away from her for my amusement. No ambition. This is why I hated you. This is why I protect us all. Do you expect me to house you in a place with carers? To ensure Athene has what she needs? Hephaestus his work and his shop? If I'm sitting on a throne mother adores? No, you're sick. You're a twisted relic. A back birth of my funk and piss. I bested you. By being the better man. I take care of our family, keep Artemis's land preserve in place for her hunt. I ensure you're comfortable in your elder years, that there are people to clean you of your piss you talk of so much. And you know, dear father, you know with every minute of your life, I did not become you. I transcended you. I broke our cycle, and I will continue to do so. I will continue to care for you, to feed you with those pathetic pudding cups, and give plenty to everyone around you by association, and each one of your friends, the people who spend such a short bit of time before they die, they will praise you for your diligent, good sons, your beloved daughter who fixes their emails. Every day you get to hear them mention me, mention how glad they are to see an old man rotting away with the comforts of his children around them. Every day, limp-dicked and incontinent, bound to the fucking chair for your own hubris and the damage you did to those women's hips. Every day you hear nothing but my praise. You see nothing but the humans lauding my gifts of courage in their wars and in their relaxations. I have bested you. I won. I took everything you held away, and I will keep them. Ares spat before descending into silence. There, the mighty king of the gods. No, father, I could kill you. I should for your crimes against women and women. Uppity bitches. I should kill you for that too. I have daughters. But if I killed you, your pain would cease. If I let your life slip through my fingers, I would lose my freedom to act in the best interest of our family. Through the sheer act of keeping you here, caring not only for you, but all of these people, through their praise and their admiration for the work of your diligent, beloved kids, they give you just enough worship, enough power not to fade away. He leaned in, nose within a brushing millimeter of Zeus's face. You will live in this place, decrepit and bereft. You will live in the shadow of our dotage, and you will hate not only yourself, but the world you helped maintain. I told you, father. I won. Ares, god of war, leaned down and kissed his father's forehead with lips which pressed like fire. He turned down the light and walked to the door of the small suite. Melinda, my father is ready for his bath, if you don't mind. I think he soiled himself again. Not at all. Happens all the time. Why we get paid the pity butts, right? Melinda walked into the room and pushed her white sweater up her elbows. Oh, look at this. You've got such a good son, how he takes care of you. Thank you, Melinda. All right, I'll see you in a few weeks. Zeus mumbled curses under his tongue in a language Melinda didn't understand. I love you too, Father. Goodbye. Ares walked out of the old folks' home at a hurried strut, stopping only to clean his hands with sanitizer to get the funk of his father off of him. Idling by the front door, Leonidas sat behind the wheel of an armored SUV with symphonic heavy metal pouring out of the speakers. Collapsing into the passenger seat, Ares hissed out a breath and set his palm on his face. The waft of the hand sanitizer stung shut eyes. A click and zip from Leonidas' seatbelt was chased by the rustle of the smaller man. Leaning over Ares, Leonidas rumbled sweet words in Hellax as he reached for Ares' seatbelt and buckled his spouse in. The scent of licorice and peppermint on Leonidas' breath roused Ares' eyes open, and he caught the man for a kiss, as comforting as it was familiar. Old bastard back in his prison? Godspeed to the cuckold. Leonidas settled back in the driver's seat and clipped his seatbelt on, shifting the SUV into gear before he took Ares' hand. Is it wrong I wish... No. No, if Zeus died, your mother would continue as the dowager she is now. You worry too much. We've too many people to look after to do right by them all and still have enough energy for ourselves. Leonidas shifted into a higher gear on the freeway and thrashed the engine to reach the airport a mote faster. What if it was you? What if that bolt hit you instead of, I am not going to halt our mission out of fear, and neither are you. You're my conscience, as DJ is my compassion. If I lost either of you, we are no stranger to death and yo. What happened was a tragedy, but we'll get the bitch yet. Justice will be done. No. Death is not a stranger, but... Ares searched the rapid retreat of the highway outside for a sign he could cling to, a presence in the breeze. I want a full trace on Caleb. Transcripts from Icarus. I don't trust him to avoid stupidity, and Raynar isn't answering any summons. He shouldn't be alone. Want me to send Lou to bring him in? Yes, on one condition. Oh? Get some sleep, love. You're going to need it. We all are. Driving down the highway with one hand on the wheel, Leonidas of Sparta took hold of his spouse's fingers. He knew Ares' grip could crush him in a millisecond, a single twitch. Yet Ares settled into the reclined seat all the same, and shut his eyes with a mirror of the face Leonidas first fell in love with more than 2 millennia ago, in Sparta. Caleb was as lost now as Ares was then, the weight of empires and pantheons on his shoulders. Unlike Ares in those times, Caleb had no children to care for, no consort to defend, or sisters to protect. As Leonidas passed car after car, he thought back to the consoling isolation of Ares in Sparta, when Gorgo brought Aphrodite into the world of Spartan women and their children entered the Agoge. Without the excess of Olympus, Ares had nothing but his family and his comrades, the fellow Spartans they trained beside. As Leonidas ducked his eyes once in a while to check on Ares' slumbering face, he wondered how Caleb could fare with no consolation. Ares was right. They had to intercept Caleb and bring him home. Truce be damned. Minitron, where's Leander? I have a mission for you. And that is chapter 22 of Char and Ash.